About 1974 I started smoking. There we go. Smoked every day, 49 years. My dad was in Saudi Arabia when I was 14 and I went out to see him, 6 weeks school holiday, with another lad, my mum. And we just went and bought a packet of ciggies, because that's what everybody was doing. It just escalated. I'll just have a go today. Let's go and get it out again, have another go tomorrow, you know what I mean? And it's just 49 years down the line. Till I got to the stage where I couldn't do anything. Couldn't even get up the stairs.
I started smoking when I was about 18, and I can remember the first cigarette I had because I was given this at a party and I didn't know what to do with it and people laughed at me. So I persisted and learned how to smoke and carried on for about 50 years until I decided enough was enough. If I didn't give up now, then I never would.
I was about 23 when I started smoking, and it was because I drank and it went along with it. Oh yeah, having a laugh and a joke and have a puff on a smoke. Next thing, I was hooked. Wish I never had, but I did.
Well, I started smoking at the age of 14 and I smoked for 28 years. When it come to me quitting, I was smoking 30, 40 cigs a day.
And I was a little bit younger than her. I was 12 when I started smoking. So I've smoked for the majority of my life.
Everybody smoked. You could smoke on buses, you could smoke in cinemas, you could smoke at swimming pools. It's crazy to think about it now, but you just did. All my relatives smoked, all my friends smoked. We would share cigarettes around. If somebody didn't have any, then we would, share them around. It was just something that everybody did. And those who didn't smoke were kind of...
I think the first packet I ever bought was on a Sunday, walking to the pub. And at the time, I worked 12 hours a day. So you only got certain points in the day where you could have a smoke. But once I'd finished, I was like a normal smoker, I would have said, and it quickly advanced.
1976, went in the RAF. There you go. Saw a bit of active duty in that. Still smoking. More because when you was out in uniform, you couldn't smoke. You could only smoke when you came back. So it was one after the other. Then came out of the RAF and started my work career. Building caravans, then became an engineer. While I was in the factory fixing a machine, I was absolutely fine. As soon as I went and sat in the office, started doing paperwork, I think, oh, I'm going to have a ciggy. Because there was nobody to tell me when to come in, when to start, when to stop. There was only me in the engineering. So if I had no machines to fix, outside, smoke shelter. That was it. That was my day. Then I just say 7th of January, I just turned around and said, went to the boss and said, that's it. 63, I'm done. Walked away and met Mav.
Hi, Mav. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I've stopped taking them patches now.
You don't feel that you need
No,
it anymore?
no, I think I'm over it now. Bari, I actually call her Mav because I couldn't say it. I didn't even like to ask her how you pronounced it, to be fair with you.
So my name is Vary Rees. Vary is spelled M-H-A-I-R-I, and I'm a senior stop smoking specialist with Smoke Free Hull. I think Andy really wanted to stop smoking. I think that's the key, is people will come to us who've been told that they need to stop smoking, maybe by a doctor, consultant at the hospital, but they're not really ready. They kind of know they need to, but they're not ready to do it, and that can be harder. Whereas in Andy's case, it was his decision. He was referred to us, but he really wanted to stop smoking. It makes such a difference.
I couldn't get up the stairs, I couldn't do the job anymore. I couldn't get down to it. I could get down to the machine, but I couldn't get up. I had no breath. And when I first met Mav, I was on inhalers, a lot. I'm still getting texts from the doctors saying, You haven't been for your chest x-ray. You haven't been for this. You haven't been for your inhaler. I had pocketfuls of gear just to get me through the day.
Now, 28 years smoking, I never thought I would do this. So what I thought I'm going to do is do daily TikToks to let you know my journey, because if everybody else knows I'm quitting smoking, I can't have a slice it, can I? But there's no... I had high cholesterol, I was on beta blockers, blood pressure was up, pre-diabetic, you know, and it was just... I've got a history of heart disease in the family, and I need to live a long life for my youngest. He's autistic. So it was just like, that's what pushed me. I did say over the years, didn't I need to quit smoking. But at the age of then 42, being told I've got early stages of heart disease, it's like, no. And by quitting, within like 3 months of quitting, my cholesterol dropped and the pre-diabetes had gone. And my beta blockers as well, I've come off them because my heart rate was starting to drop. It's not perfect, but smoking was basically killing me.
I was thinking of my health. I was thinking of the monetary side and how you wake up in the morning and you've got that, and as every smoker knows, what comes up in that most mornings, different, I know it's not a nice subject, different colours, different varieties, and it's awful, and I had to stop it,
There was a financial impact that it had, because every time a budget came out, I said, that's it, if it goes above this amount, I'm going to stop. And it went higher and higher and higher, and I still never stopped. My dad had heart disease and he passed with lung cancer. My mum had vascular dementia. She was a smoker for a long period of time too. And then myself, as I've got older, I developed type 2 diabetes, I'm asthmatic, and it was just like, something's got to give, and I'd rather it was the cigarettes than me.
I had a lung check. It was a routine one for people over 65, I think. And it showed no damage done to my lungs, nothing really sinister. And I thought, well, if I've got away with it so far, I'm going to make sure that it stays that way. And they referred me to the Stop Smoking Service. It wasn't the first time I'd been to the Stop Smoking Service, but this time something really clicked, and I had a very supportive advisor, and I got through it.
When the doctor gave me the link, I've had it before, and I thought, my first thought is, I've been at it that long, I'm going to fail. I'm going to fail, and I don't like failing. I want to win. And I was sat at the base of the stairs putting them boots on over there, and I thought, I'm going to ring her up. And I rang before I went out the door to set the ball in motion to see what she would say to me. And it went from there. I don't know what made me click to think, this time, I've got to do it, I've got to try. It came out of nowhere, sat putting my boots on.
Hello!
Hiya.
You look so sorry for today.
I am indeed.
We like to speak to them weekly for up to 12 weeks. And initially when we try and explain, like the first session will be about 30 to 40 minutes because there's a whole host of things that we need to address. It's not just about, hello, yeah, you want to help with stopping smoking, let's get you some patches and maybe some gum, there you go, we'll check in a week. It's about peeling back the layers because people have very complex lives. So it's like trying to establish what their reasons are, what's brought them here.
Well, you kind of tailor it to the individual. Obviously, some people require perhaps a little bit more encouragement and support. Attending weekly, we know works well. We know it's the best way to stop smoking is to come to clinic and see an advisor face to face. We know that. The evidence is there that shows us that that really, really works. And then we just tailor the rest of the support around the individual.
This is how bad I was. I lived 3 bus stops away from where Mav is in the office. I had to get a bus. I couldn't walk. I had to get a bus. It's only a 10-minute, not even a 10-minute walk. But yeah, then I got the appointment and I didn't have a cigarette from that day. She gave me the patches and I said, if I'm going to do it, I've got to do it now. And that's it, I've not smoked since. This was my first goal, was have a lean or sit on here. Couple of minutes. And there's the bus stop, and that was my goal then, just try and make it to the bus stop without stopping.
I went to portfolio holder of health and I went, I need help quitting smoking, so she jumped straight on it, and I got the number for the quit smoking clinic, and I got a phone call. He was amazing, this guy, David. A phone call from him, and we discussed it. But he was an ex-smoker as well, which made it really easy, but we talked about it before we actually did it, and we just decided to do it with patches, very strong ones, and an e-cig liquid with no nicotine in it. That is a good anchor. I do still use that today, but I'd rather do that than have a cigarette. But it was a system. It was a plan. We had a plan, and we was going to stick to that plan. We hadn't had a plan, I wouldn't have done it.
I've tried to quit before, possibly about a dozen times, sometimes with the help of the Stop Smoking service, sometimes on my own. But I was never wholehearted about it. I was always doing it because people wanted me to. It wasn't coming from within.
Initially, once we do that telephone call, we'll have a conversation. So we try and find out a little bit about them as much as possible. Where they've been referred from, whether it's been a self-referral, whether somebody else has suggested that they come here for any kind of like health reasons. Because often when people say, we ask them, what's brought you here today? What's your reason for contacting us? Often people will say things like, well, I want to stop smoking. Why do you want to stop smoking? And they'll say things like health. Well, health for many people can be quite broad or non-specific. So for me personally, it's trying to pinpoint what they mean by that. You know, if that is one of their motivations. So it's, what do you mean by that? Are you concerned about your health? Has anybody suggested that you should stop smoking for any specific reason, like your GP? Have you noticed anything why smoking is impacting on your health?
So it's going well then?
It is very, yeah. I think I'm pleased with myself.
Yeah, good. And that's it, isn't it? You want to feel good.
Yeah.
And you're achieving your goal here, so that's positive. Really good stuff.
First off, I was thinking, well, this is easy, I'm getting on with it, I've got my patch, puff later, I'm off, I'm not going to smoke. And we're in 3 weeks now, like this morning, I got up this morning and thought, oh, I could murder a smoke. So, got my coffee, sat in the garden, got the puff later out. And you're taken away from what you've just been thinking. So then, ran out of coffee, go for coffee, go get some coffee. Then I can't have a smoke because I'm occupying myself doing something else.
I stopped once. I had nobody saying, you're doing good. Don't do this, don't do that. You've done really well today. And I did it for about 2 years, believe it or not. It was about 2 years I stopped smoking for. And I went out one night, made the mistake. Go and sit with the lads while they're having a smoke, I'll be all right. Started smoking again. Over Christmas it was. Yeah. Then Mav came along. I think he was keep texting me, you know what I mean? Because I was getting these weird texts. Who the bloody hell's that? And it's like, yeah. But she's there, like she told me she's there. So I need to ring her up.
It's trying to get them to think about what could be an obstacle, what could be a barrier. Going to the kettle in the morning, the brain's automatically cued in, ooh, coffee equals cigarette, you know. Going outside, cigarette. Then all of a sudden, we're saying, what could you do to change that? They've got to work on the habitual side of smoking as well.
First thing in the morning, I would always light up a cigarette, and I worked in banking, and so it was a marker. So when it was break time, you had a cigarette. Lunchtime, you had a cigarette. When you left, you had a cigarette. And back in the day, back in the early 70s, you could smoke actually in the office, which is quite shocking now. As soon as it was close to the public, out came the ashtrays.
Being an addiction, it is habitual. But like if we was going to a meeting, we'd get in the car and light up, wouldn't we, and have a cig in the car on the way to a meeting. And so I think the fact that I banned smoking in the car, but she's still able to have a vape, but we knew we couldn't have a cig in the car when we was going places. So that helped a lot. But with me, it was because I had to go for this asthma test where you have to breathe into tubes through a computer and things, and I couldn't have a cigarette that day. I bought the patches just to take the edge away, and I realised I didn't even want my vape that day, so I just carried on with the patches. And because I spend a lot of time with Maria and she wasn't smoking and I wasn't smoking, we had that backup for each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
And if it got a bit much and we wanted to snap each other's head off, we
did. We did.
Let's do your CO reading then, okay? So it's same as normal. We're going to ask you to take a nice deep breath in.
When you smoke, you inhale high levels of carbon monoxide. We all breathe it in from the atmosphere. If you just walk down Hezzo Road just now, you'll be breathing in carbon monoxide from the traffic. So it's there. But most people have fairly low levels of carbon monoxide. It's not harmful. The problem with a smoker is that they're inhaling high levels of carbon monoxide straight into their lungs. And it's the carbon monoxide really, out of all the elements of the smoking, is probably the most harmful, because what it does is it clogs up your arteries or can make your blood thick and gluggy, which can clog up your arteries, which of course can cause heart attacks and strokes. So what we do with the carbon monoxide reading is when the client comes on week 1 and you show them their reading as a smoker, it could be quite high. It probably will be quite high, and there's different levels. And then they come back a week or 2 later and they've quit, and of course the levels have dropped down. And it's dramatic. It goes down within 24 to 48 hours of not smoking. So it's a great tool for the clients to actually see. They can see their progress. So we look for a reading between less than 6, and it could maybe be 2 or 3 one week, or you might come back another week and it might be 1 or 2. It will vary, but the lowest you'll get is 1. Yeah. He was desperate to get a 0, but no, it's unlikely.
Day 15, going good. Let's get to that 28-day mark, and then I'm not turning back whatsoever. Have a cracking day. Like the first 2 weeks is where we had the really strong nicotine patches on, and then he gradually prescribed them lower and lower, but he was really pleased with me because I did it a lot quicker than other people had done it. And I think because it was my health, that's why I was determined and I did it. But I don't think I would have done it properly without them. I really don't at all.
Mab gave me a small inhaler, and I've been a few days without even putting one of the little capsules in. It's just that it was having it in your hand. Going and doing something in the garden and going. And that's all it was. Once I got rid of that, then it was, and the patches, I don't actually know how the patches, they're nicotine based like, and it goes into your system, but I did a couple of days without one. And I can't really say whether it was me being quite strong and thinking, I don't need a cigarette, or they work. I'm still undecided on it, you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
People will often go to a supermarket and buy a packet of patches, but they may not be strong enough. So we can advise them on the correct product, correct strength of nicotine that you're going to need, and how long to use it for. Because again, people might just use it for a week, think they're doing okay, but of course it's too soon. You've got to use it over a period of time.
How have things been? We've not seen you for a couple of weeks, have we?
Still going. Had one mishap.
Okay.
I suppose everybody else had one. Oh, do you want one? And I took it.
Okay. So you were offered one by somebody else?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just going like that. Where's my puffer later?
Yeah. Okay.
And I'd left it. I had that smoke, that one, well, not even a complete one, and I was devastated to myself because I knew after the fact I didn't need it, and I suppose I didn't really want it. Is it peer pressure because people around me were smoking and I felt like I had to be included? I felt like I'd let myself down, I'd let Emily down, but it was no pointless trying to hide it from her. I've got to tell her what I did, because any advice she could have given me on that one is greatly appreciated.
If, for instance, somebody has relapsed and they've said, I've smoked 20 cigarettes and I've realised that it is a little bit too difficult. I think it's not about pointing fingers. I think it's about letting them know that there is that safe place, you know, right, okay, what have we learned, you know, when you feel ready, maybe have a little bit of reflection of this, and when you feel ready, I can check in with you in a couple of weeks' time, have a think about it, think about what went wrong, what was positives, you know, think about those situations when you didn't smoke, when you felt like smoking, and maybe build on that. So we're not kind of like pointing fingers and saying, right, that's it now, we're not here to support you. It's about letting people know that they can come back to us at any time, and we're there to offer them that safe place and not be non-judgmental.
I'm looking forward at this moment in time, not so much having that in my mouth, because that tells people, but I want to get rid of the patch. That's what I'd like to get. I ain't so much bothered about that because I could probably have nothing in it. I'm hoping I get to the point where there's nothing in it, but I'm still puffing on it. Just so it's there, and just till that point where I've left it. I left it in the car, I left it at home, and that'll be when I don't need it. But even if it comes to the point of nothing in it. So yeah, there's a goal.
I was so enthusiastic and I was so determined that it was going to work this time. And I was nearly 70 and I haven't got a lot of time left to embark on the whole process again. I downloaded the Stop Smoking app, which monitored all my health improvements, and it also monitored the money. And for a long time, I was putting the money aside, and I bought myself a holiday. I treated myself to some nice clothes. The money aspect was quite important, but also being able to monitor my health. You know, after 2 years, your risk of a heart attack's reduced and that kind of thing. I like numbers, and it was interesting to follow that. The children were really supportive, and the grandchildren. I used to get little messages from them, little text messages.
My eldest grandson is 16, Lloyd. I don't think I know him. Because if I was smoking, I'd go outside. If they were round, I've got 5 grandchildren, if they was all round, I wouldn't smoke in the house. That's not fair on them, is it? They haven't got a choice. So I'd always go outside, and I lost out. 16 years, I've lost out. But now, he was round my house yesterday morning at 7:30, helping me paint the fence out the front of the house. I didn't ask him. And he said he loves it coming round now. Loves it, just walks in now. We're doing projects together.
Well, I have a granddaughter. Well, most of them, all of them really. But there's a couple of them. If I go that way and sit outside, they go sit that outside with me. If I go out the back, they come out the back. Go away because I'm smoking. So don't climb on me. You can't come near me. And I know it's only a short period of time, but they have to do that now. You know, wherever I go, if they want to follow me, that's fine. Because I'm not having a smoke.
My middle child, Jim, he reckons it's put another 20 years on me. He's not seen me ride a push bike in 30 years, let alone running around Picky Park with a rugby ball. Taking a dog out. It's mad. Got a French bulldog and I've never took it out for a walk. It's always been Jim or somebody else. I love it now. 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll have a Picky Park with a dog. Yeah.
I'm quite energetic, I'm quite active now, which I wasn't before. I certainly feel better in myself, not only physically but mentally, because I don't have that drain on me, worrying about if I'm going on a long train journey, when am I going to get a break for a smoke. It does rule your life.
I have seen a change in my grandma because it feels like she's able to come out with us like a lot more, and she comes with us to places that she wouldn't before.
She smells less.
We go out a lot to like parks and stuff together, and we go shopping out in Scarborough and stuff, which we usually never did. I think it's important that people quit smoking because then they can actually spend time with their family instead of being excluded all the time.
I'm on day 42 of not smoking a cigarette. There is no turning back, and I doubt for as long as I live I will ever smoke cigarettes again. So the hard work is it's over, I think. It's getting easier now. And even the house, everything, just everything. It's great. It is, isn't it? Yeah, like I bought all new furniture because it just stunk of smoke, and life and my relationships within my family, it's brilliant. Even like my partner is like, oh, you don't smell like an ashtray anymore. Coming for a kiss more often. I've got the energy as well. I've got the energy for them. And we do a lot more activities, miles more, because there's more money in the bank.
I am a quitter. I am now a non-smoker. I'm classed as a no-smoking person, and I'm very pleased about that. And I'm going to do my utmost to keep it that way. I can't see any reason as to why I would go back to smoking now.
There's a lot of time wasted in smoking, and I've regained that time. You know, the standing outside. I missed out on a lot of years of life, I guess.
I was working from midday till 9 o'clock at night. That was my shift. So I'd come home, check on my wife, she's disabled, check on my wife. But there was a lot of distance, do you know what I mean? It was like, because I was never there. I was always in the kitchen, she'd be in the lounge. And that was life for the last 4 years. Now I can't get her out my hair now. It's like not being married again, but it's like going back 20 years, 15 years, 20 years. We're sort of like, we're working together now again. It's about walking together, walking round the park without the dog, just me and her holding hands. It's mad. It was absolutely mad. After 38 years. It is like having a second chance, because I reckon I'd give myself another 5 years, maximum.
I just wanted to prove to myself that I can do it, and if I can do it, anybody can do it, basically. But the physical differences are amazing. Being able to get up without coughing, being able to walk and talk at the same time was quite a change. Being able to run around.
The monetary side of it never really bothered, but it's nice to put my hand in my shorts pocket and I'm not just feeling my leg, I'm feeling extra money, you know, which everybody wants to do, don't they?
Tasting food again. That's the biggest thing. It's the biggest thing, that is, tasting food. It didn't matter whether I had a burger, a Sunday roast, it all tasted mundane. But I'm shopping now. I'm getting crazy food now. It's crazy food. No takeaways, stop takeaways.
It's just transformational, really, not smoking. And it's such a shame that I didn't do it earlier.